So I'll admit, colour isn't a topic I really think about much when it comes to movies, TV shows or games, but recently I played Firewatch for the second time, and the way in which it's presented so strongly throughout the game made me really want to make a quick video on the topic. Firewatch is also just an excellent place to start as, dare I say, I believe it's one of the most visually striking games ever made. Now, if you've played Firewatch and I were to ask you what colours dominate the theme of the game, I'd bet quite confidently that you'd say purple and pink. Wait a minute. Oh, whoops. Forgive me. I'd bet quite confidently that you'd say orange and red, maybe a little bit of blue, and you'd be correct. In Firewatch, the colours used are rich and full of vibrancy, without ever feeling too overwhelming. For me, it kind of feels like I'm inside a painting almost, and this of course is also due to the game's graphics and the direction they use for them. At least some of the inspiration for Firewatch's graphical style comes in the form of WPA's National Park posters, ones that also have a small range of colours but they use them to great effect, especially in regards to how they contrast one another. Colour is hugely important in games for many reasons, and not to state the obvious, but the main feeling you'll get from Firewatch throughout most of your playthrough is warmth. The blend of tones of orange and red mix so well together to create the feeling of warmth and ease being in nature. In fact, the devs evoked this feeling so well that many people after playing the game were genuinely interested in fire lookout jobs. Now, unfortunately, such jobs are few and far between as satellites and aerial surveillance have largely removed the need for human lookouts. This is also on top of the fact that the game at least somewhat romanticised the job itself, but I really do think if Firewatch largely stayed the same but the colour palette was more toned down and it simply looked like a typical game, it wouldn't have nearly garnered this much interest in real lookout jobs, or just the actual game itself. Now, in case you haven't played Firewatch, I won't spoil it for you. It's such a beautiful experience and it's well worth the few hours of time you'll put into it. Now, with that being said, the game starts off mostly with shades of blue and a lighter orange. Things start off well, and Henry, the character you play as, is settling in and there's just a general air of peace and quiet at the start. As the plot progresses though and the story unfolds, the colours slowly shift to a darker shade of orange, with some muted colours also coming in to create a sense of unease and mystery. These things weren't evident to me on my first playthrough, and full disclosure, I am a bit slow, so maybe I'm the only one who had that experience, but at least the second time round it was a lot more noticeable and it really immersed me in the feelings they wanted me to have at each story point. Plus on top of all of that, the game just looks fucking amazing, so no complaints here. I honestly believe almost every frame of Firewatch could be put in a frame and hung up proudly on your wall, like truly. A slight deviation from this topic, but writing that part in the script just then, has made me think of a recent movie called Train Dreams. If you enjoyed Firewatch, then I insist you watch this. It's set in a similar setting and it's honestly one of the most beautiful movies I've ever seen. It captures nature and its beauty so well, and whilst it generally doesn't have the same colour palette as Firewatch, I'd argue it's just as visually stunning. Now, what other games have a strong colour palette? Well, of course there's many examples to choose from, but I'll quickly brush up on a few now. Abzu, a game made by Giant Squid, is made from a studio known for serene art styles in their games. I haven't played their most recent game, Sword of the Sea, so I can't comment on it, but I'd say Abzu is one of their greatest works. It's evident from the first second that the game utilises a wide spectrum of blues, making the ocean feel lush and vibrant. And this contrasts to the hot pinks, oranges and greens that make up the surroundings and wildlife, and yet it just blends extremely well. Although I haven't seen any buzz around people wanting to become scuba divers because of this game, it does make me want to swim in the ocean. I myself have had a few short experiences of swimming in tropical areas and being amongst the schools of fish gliding past your legs, and it's something I'll just never forget, and this game kind of reminds me of that. Okay, one more game. Let's make it a bit less lovey-dovey, for lack of a better phrase. Mirror's Edge is a game that has a very bold colour palette, which serves the gameplay just as much as it serves the narrative and feel of the whole experience. In terms of gameplay, the use of white and red clearly shows where you need to go and what you can interact with. You're usually moving at high speeds, and a colour palette with more variety may have confused players, so mainly having two colours helps serve the gameplay and the ease of which you go from point A to point B. Whilst Mirror's Edge was being developed, the developers viewed a level with a light bake but no textures, and they found the lighting so striking that they then went on to base the foundation of the game on this look. This also helps to serve the narrative and how the general sterility of the look of the game symbolises a city under constant surveillance, one that feels sanitised and safe rather than freeing. Colour is a surprisingly important part of a game's development, and it can significantly change the way we think and feel. With that being said though, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for sticking around to the end, and I'll hopefully see you soon.